What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. And you know what? It's time to talk about the hottest team in Detroit, lack of a better phrase. And this is what we've come to know. There was absolutely no worries, no concerns. It was just, we know the Pistons from start to finish are going to handle their business in this one. So we're going to talk about it, and I got some questions as well for Swisher Break. I'm about to get a couple over to you, KG, and we're going to definitely have some fun. But let's get the legend drum rolled in here, and you know what? After we get Rod's thoughts, we'll get into some of these videos that I sent over to JB. So let's rock. Hey, yo! Shout out and welcome to the legend Detroit News, Rod Beard. Brother, take it away with Rod's thoughts, man. Those Pistons just bludgeoned and just pushed around the lowly Wizards last night, man.
And you want to see it again on Thursday also. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and then try to steal a few from the ones you're not. And they're not losing these bad games. Even the West Coast games with the Clippers and Golden State, they fought in those games. They were right there to the end. But you got to go in and you got to beat Portland, and you got to go beat Utah, and they were able to do those things. So win the games you're supposed to, and you'll be somewhere around 45, 46 wins. 51?
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, could be, man. It's still alive.
I'm still on.
It's still alive, man.
No, not for you.
It's alive. Sorry. I love the wallpaper too, Rod Beard. The director, the alterations look nice, man. So shout out to you. Soon, that whole wall is probably gonna be filled up with sticky notes behind you, but.
Just like KG talk, just like KG cook, we'll have this whole thing just going.
Bro, let's rock. You know what, Rod? I want to be able to give people just a sense of the environment from last night as well. So, JB, let's roll a couple of those videos, talk about it, and then we're going to get into this swish or break.
Is there one you want to start with first, or?
Hey, we'll go walking down the stairs, man. We got that dub. We'll start there, man. What up, though, people, man? What a game. The Pistons just handled business in this one. They went 123-103. It wasn't really close. They were in control the whole game. About to go to the press conference and talk about it, but that's been the identity of this team, handling business. They got another one against the Wizards. You got to do it again. Let's go. All night, the Detroit Pistons fans, man, they were on one. I said earlier in the show, they got their debate card back. They can now sit at the NBA conversations table because the Detroit Pistons are going out there, and they're just kind of taking this spotlight and this stage by force. All season, after like the first 20, 25 games where we do that assessment, we've done this the last 3 years now, Woodward Pistons. The thing that locked in was, look, the dysfunction around them, as well as just how well coached they are. They're going to have an opportunity. We're going to see that, you know what, the 4th seed is within reach for them. They're probably going to settle at that 6th seed. But right now, you got a team that is tied for that 4th seed in a 3-way with the Pacers and the Bucks. And it's an amazing thing to see. And the fans are bought in. That arena, it's becoming more and more full. Even on nights where it might not be every seat filled, there's not many nights where you're going in and you're like, oh man, this is kind of empty, like you had maybe the couple past seasons. And so it's nice to see this revitalization of kind of Detroit Pistons fans, this relationship between them and the players who they say that this is what they want. We've heard them the last couple seasons say, we hear what's going on over there at Ford Field. We can hear it. Ron Holland talked about, I live in the city. I live literally in Detroit. I hear them at the Tigers games. I hear them at the Lions games. And now to see the Detroit Pistons faithful trusting what they see in front of their eyes right now and being able to go out there and really be that extra man on the in the building for them and turning that into a hostile environment. It was awesome to see, and the players are loving it. You see them responding, and it was a physical battle in which they remained composed, whereas their opponent came unraveled. And this is starting to become a part of the identity of how the Detroit Pistons are winning games, Rod.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed? That's a Tuesday night. And that lower bowl is pretty full there. So that's something that's different. And it's a Wizards game. On one hand, you can say, hey, they're expected to win this game. But the other one, it's not a Golden State. It's not the Lakers. It's not a marquee matchup that you have to go and figure out how to sell tickets for. This is something that you're starting to see turn a little bit more. And this is a playoff team, man. This is straight up a playoff team. That the way that they go and handle business and the way that they play defense. Again, when was the last time they just got ran off the floor? And it happens to everybody. They did it to Boston. But when was the last time they just got ran off the floor? You don't see it nearly as much as you saw it last season and in previous seasons. And who knows? I mean, Jaden Ivey could be coming back into this and make this really, really interesting.
That'd be interesting.
And Rod, I want to preface this by saying I don't think that Cade can pass SGA, and I don't think he can pass Jokic.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? We heard Shaq in his comments say, Chauncey Billups was doing a good job over there. I don't watch the Pistons. Like, bro, Chauncey.
After you slobbed Cade during All-Star break. You know, like, I don't get that. Yeah, you were literally glazing
when Cade was in the building and on the set, he said, Cade, that's the boy. That's this, that, and the other. And now all of a sudden it's just, oh, man, no, the Pistons are boring. I don't watch them. And you know what it is? And we talked about it. The identity of this Detroit Pistons team, the physicality that's coming back, them being able to really stranglehold their opponent because their opponent cannot match their physicality. You're not going to out Isaiah Stewart, but he's found a way to be able to help the rest of his team be able to live up to that. I remember when Draymond Green tried to put his hands on Stu, and Stu pulled him, right? Well, what do I see Cade Cunningham do last night? Chris Middleton put his hands on him, and Cade pulled him right on into him. And this is what I'm seeing right now, and I do believe that when Shaq does, and he's forced to tap into these games, there's got to be a little bit of that 2004 PTSD going on right now, where realistically they went in with all the confidence, all the noise, and they left here with nothing. Honestly, how do you win a game and people still say you got swept? So I understand it, Shaq. I understand it, man. He's going to talk. He's going to say what he say, but this is more akin to what you're talking about. The people who have this platform who say, well, no one's talking about the faces of the league. Well, when you got a face of the league, and we got a swish or break question on the way we're going to talk about. When you got a face of the league, but you're sitting here disrespecting him on this platform, on this stage, when they're literally tied for fourth place in the East, that to me is just wild behavior.
Right, but that is how the media is, and ESPN did something where they did a whole kind of small segment on the Pistons, and it was like, whoa, this is what they need for people to understand how different this is. If you didn't pay attention to the Pistons only winning 14 games, the fact that they're at 37 now doesn't really strike you as being that big a deal. Yeah, Pistons are in fourth place. Okay. They won 14 games last year. 14. That's so
wild.
It's you from a national standpoint. That's the point I keep going back to is you have to understand where they were last year to understand why just getting into a playoff spot is significant, but to be in the fourth spot, or tied for the fourth, and to be locked into the playoffs, not even the play-in, you're not even vying for that 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, is significant. And the more people who talk about it, the more writers who write about it and you see it on a national scene is where this is really going to hit the pavement.
And you know what? They're closer to the 3rd seed than they are to the 7th seed right now. Think about that. Think about that.
It's the truth, right?
That's what's wild right now. Like the Pistons are legitimately closer to the 3rd seed than they are to the 7th. And I got some crazy theories. I'm going to follow them out over a couple weeks, and then we're going to talk about...
You're going to make Rod write another sticky
Hey, no, for real, Rod. You might have to put a sticky note up there for Kool-Aid, man, because there's something at the end of the segment that I got to ask you, man.
No, hold it.
You said hold it.
I got an episode coming, maybe in 2 Wednesdays.
Oh, 2 Wednesdays. He trying to think on it.
Get the sticky note, Rod. Get the sticky note.
He got a whole roll of that.
He got different colors.
Man.
What up, though, Flannel, before we get to the Swisher break?
I mean, the Pistons are closer to the 3 seed than the 7th, but according to Shaq, they're 4 games under 500.
Right.
That's
like, what?
Crazy. If I make a mistake that egregious on air, and I get it, I'm not Shaquille O'Neal, I am mortified. If I get somebody standings off by like 2, I'm just like, I can't believe I said that. But Shaq would just be like, yeah, they're like 4 games under 500.
Right.
And the dude's like, I don't think so. They're actually 6 games over.
Right.
That was basically how that
That
went.
was hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, they're not winning the championship. Stop it. Like, bro, nobody said they were winning the championship, bro. But
Hey,
Shaq,
get that out there.
I thought that was a little funny by Shaq, man. I like Shaq, but that one was just like, come on, bro. Like, you ain't got to be a tough guy all the time.
And you can tell that the guy was like, I'm just some nerd. I don't want to like tell Shaq he's wrong. But when you're that egregious,
Right.
it's like, I don't think that's the case, bud. Go on.
Nah, so we ready to
Switch
get
to break.
in this.
I got to see that graphic first. Though.
Oh, yeah, got to pop that up there.
There we go.
Oh, it's like
I'm so
porn to
glad
me.
you didn't switch to me at that time.
All right, and Chase, if you can play me some pimping, man, I'd appreciate that. And we got 5, topics of discussion in here, so I would like to get all of these off because I feel like they're all really good. But to start it off,
answer in the chat too, chat family.
oh yeah, we'll read off some of them. To agree with Bill Simmons, Cade Cunningham deserves all NBA second team. Swish or brick?
Hey, listen, he had a podcast where he was talking about Cade Cunningham and the impact he's having on the Detroit Pistons winning. It took me all show every time we talk Pistons to be like, all right, let me not mention this. Even when you talked about MVP, because we all talked about a long time ago, yes, we do believe that he deserves to be all NBA. You look at, you got a Pistons team that is legitimately right now tied for 4th. All NBA second team, not just third. What say ye?
I'm going to go brick. It should be first. Not second, not third,
Damn.
first. And I get it. He's going to be battling out with Anthony Edwards, who's been playing great as of late. Been playing really great the whole season, but upped his game recently. But if the Pistons finish with the 4 seed and the Timberwolves, even though it's not Ant-Man's fault, finish in the play-in, how could the 2 all-NBA first-team guards not be Shea, SGA, and Cade Cunningham? So I'm going to go all-NBA first.
What a backcourt. JB Smooth.
One more time, KG. What was the question?
According to Bill Simmons, according to Bill Simmons, Cade Cunningham deserves all NBA second team. Swish or brick?
Second team?
Yeah.
All NBA second.
Give me brick on this one, man. There's no reason why he doesn't deserve all NBA first team. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Oh, the crew. I like this. Cavassier, man. Oh, the training in there. You know what? Shout out to Cavassier.
Summer's wanting to answer. She's
Summer
trying
was
to.
the answer. Yeah, go ahead, Summer.
Let's go. So Summer's in the building training.
That's for sure a brick.
A brick?
Sure.
You got him as first team too?
First team.
Wow. Let's go.
Yeah. Where they sticky notes at, Rod? I'll see you write sticky notes for everybody else. It's equal opportunity around here, man.
KG, what say ye?
This is a brick, but I'm coming from the standpoint that any all NBA selection, K should be a part of it. And I've been strong on this for weeks now. Like, he needs to at least be all NBA third team. I'm not even asking for first team, like some of us are. That's fine. He needs to be all NBA, period. Point blank.
Hey, you know what? In the chat, before we get to the legend Rob Beer, Real K77, brick. Cunningham is first team all NBA. Michael Wary says brick. I want to. Hey, if you say brick, let me know where you believe. Is it third team, first team, or no team? You know what? The chat, in large part, if they're saying brick, a lot of them are saying he deserves to be first team. Mike Reed says brick. I see Easy in the chat. Easy, let me know what you think, brother. Let me know what you think as well. Let's get to the next question.
All right.
Wait, no.
Yo, yeah, we ain't get Rod.
What say ye, Rod Beer?
I'm actually going to say swish, and I'm partially going to agree with the rest of y'all that I'm going to leave it a little margin of error, but I can't think of another guard that needs to be first team ahead of him. But they'll find somebody. But second team sounds about right now. That sounds about right.
Look at Rod coming around. Look at him coming around.
We did what, a first team all NBA sticky note?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna start putting sticky notes on Rod. How about that, man? You said they wasn't all NBA. You said they wasn't, but nah, man. But number 2, Isaiah Stewart will finish top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Swish or brick?
You talked about these campaigns, and you see the Pistons, they start putting numbers out there, PRs doing their job, and you got Tobias Harris as well, who's going out there and making the case for his guy. When you look at all of the different metrics, shout out to Rod Beard.
Got the sticky note up there for you.
Hey, you know what? Home decorator. If you need one, Rod Beard, you see the legend. But you got a guy in Isaiah Stewart who, across the board in the metrics, he's been consistently top 5 and a lot of these paint protection numbers. And you see the blocks at the rim as well. And he's doing this really not with starter minutes. But you know what? Flannel Sam, top 5 defensive player of the year. We know that this is the identity of the Pistons. This is their identity. What say you, man? Swish or brick?
Will or should? Can you clarify? Is it will or should?
It is will.
Brick. 100% brick. And it's because of the minutes that he plays. And it's not, and again, that's why I asked the question, because you've got guys like Jaren Jackson Jr., you've got Dyson Daniels, Evan Mobley. I mean, shoot, you could go on and on. They might even give some, like, the good news is Wemby's out of the race. I don't think Gobert will play enough games. I'm not exactly sure about that. So there's a chance, but I think brick, because whether you like it or not, Isaiah Stewart plays less than 20 minutes a game. Yep. Very impactful, less than 20 minutes defensively, but they're not going to give him
He's finally in that Tasmanian defensive role. I've been calling for this for years, just like to see it now. And his efficiency, to me, has gone through the roof. JB Smooth.
I got to agree with Flannel on this one. This is a brick. This is just minutes-wise. Although you're getting a ton of usage out of him, he's giving you all the effort in the world, but it's just a minutes-wise, so it's a brick for me.
Hey, Summer, what up, though?
I gotta go brick for that.
Brick? Hey.
Yeah, I agree. For all the reasons Flannel laid out, it's just because that he's not a premier center in this league. He doesn't get the minutes and doesn't therefore get the attention.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's right up there, though. If you look at the numbers, he's right there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The numbers suggest that he has an argument to be at least somewhere in the top, maybe 8. But when you look at comparing this with the success of the Detroit Pistons this year, the great turnaround they've had, that's where his numbers, to me, really begin to jump off the page.
And just to clarify, it does look like Rudy Gobert will qualify in terms of games played, and you know that they'll at least put him in the top 5 because he's won it so often, and his numbers really haven't taken that much of a dip this year.
Overrated.
Yeah. Top 5. Rod Beard, what say ye? Top 5 defensive player of the year votes, and if not, do you think he will receive any?
He will receive some. He'll be in the top 10, but not the top 5 because of the minutes. Unless you are just a diehard watching 82 Pistons games, you don't understand how effective he is. And at his size is the other piece of that too. He's not 7'5" or 7 or a Rudy Gobert 7'3". He is absolutely undersized for what he does.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I agree. Number 3. This Pistons season is the greatest turnaround in Detroit sports history. Swish or brick?
Oh man,
that's one your boy cooked up right there.
That's one. Yeah. Look
at Ryan. He got to do some research. I see the glasses.
Because there's still unfinished business, but as it relates to going from the worst season in Detroit Pistons history with not a lot of hope on the horizon to, and this is what I'm going to do to factor this in, to a new coach, a new president of basketball operations, new GM effectively or GM team, a new rookie, and you got new vets. So when you're talking about turnaround, it's not just the wins because they still have unfinished business for this year. You want them to capitalize on that. But when you look at everything that's contributed to this turnaround, this is one of the best that I've ever seen from top to bottom. But Flannel, what you got for me, brother?
Swish if they get the 4 seed.
Ooh.
Brick to the 2006 Tigers if they finish anything below the 4 seed. I know that that's a lot of caveats and a qualifiers, but the fact that we're even having this conversation is a testament to the team. But that 2005 Tigers team was 71-91, and next year they made the World Series. So I had to take that into consideration as well.
Some people are saying last year's Tigers deserve some consideration.
They do.
They really do.
But I just don't know if that's the greatest turnaround, but they absolutely do. JB, go ahead.
I kind of agree with Flannel. Actually Flannel and Kool-Aid, if the Pistons somehow, some way get that 3rd seed, then yes, I will grant them that this is the biggest turnaround of a Detroit sports team. But other than that, it's a brick for me.
Hey, summertime, what up, though?
100% swish. The
Swish.
way that they're playing right now, it's like without a doubt that this is a swish.
Hey, let's rock, KG. What up, though?
I'm gonna say Swish. I've never seen, and Flannel, I'm so glad that you brought up the 06 Tigers, because that is probably, the one that you put in real contention with this. But I don't know, man. I've never seen a team go from 14 to damn near bordering 50 wins. I mean, this is absolutely crazy what we're seeing right now. And just in terms of 1 year turnarounds, I think it could go. I think it could go.
Shout out Rob Beard. Rob Beard.
This one ain't that outlandish, Ryan. It's arguable.
I'm seeing people in the chat. 2006 Tigers for sure. That's from IT Hips. Randall Smalls. Tigers were dead at All-Star break, and only Crazy Clown, Broder, and I kept the faith. Oh, come on, man. I kept the faith to Rando. But yeah, I'm seeing some support here in the chat. But for the Tigers, Charles McClain, Brick, that would be Tigers last year, and Lions winning the division 2 years ago. So the Lions are getting some love as well. But
that was from a 9-18.
Right. They had a steady climb.
Yeah,
they had a linear
missed
progression.
The playoffs the year before.
Yeah.
Literally just missed out.
Yeah.
One of the best teams second half of the season.
Yeah. Well, one thing, this is probably the greatest just Pistons basketball turnaround ever. I think that goes inarguable.
It's one of the best. Look, I compared the restore to the Bad Boys. That's up on the Woodward Pistons channel. Their rebuilds, very similar rebuilds. It's looking very similar timelines as well. And a lot of it has to do with getting in the right basketball mind, the right coach. So the right basketball mind to lead, the right coach. They did all the same things. GM, coach, and they had a star already in here, a star point guard, Isaiah Thomas. Now you got Cade. So, yeah. But Rod Beard, what say ye?
I'm going to say math dictates that in order to get to 51, the Pistons have to go 14-2 the rest of the way. 14-2.
I understand that. Okay. It's still alive. I'm not dead till I'm dead, man.
Shoot, if they get 51, then yes, Swish. This is the greatest turnaround in Pistons in Detroit sports history.
Right, and I think it is what it is. We don't have to compare to understand how sweet this is for the Pistons to go through this and to be at this point. 14 wins. That's it. That's all we need to say.
Hey, shout out to our brother Broder in the chat as well, man.
Shout
out to him. Hey,
yeah,
we got
Broder's in here.
Walked into the building.
Yeah.
We got next?
Yeah, we got a couple more here. Number 4, the Pistons winning a playoff series has to be the expectation now. Swish or Brick?
Oh. You know what? They have a new mentality. That's their expectation now. They're not trying to have a cute season. They're already trying to skip a few steps here, and for whatever reason, it's worked. I've continued to push the stat. You're talking about since 0-4 start, this team is 36 or 37 and 25. This has just been a good team the entire season. And their expectation the whole year was not playing, but it's been postseason. It's been playoffs. So their expectation is to go in there and make a name for the Detroit Pistons, not even themselves. This is what I'm hearing from them. And this is what encourages me to believe that their expectation, as should ours, if they prove it to be it, go out there and get it done. What say ye, Flannel Sam? Yes, you've been deliberating.
I love it.
I see him.
Whenever I can make Flannel have that little face over there, that thinking face, I love it, bro.
The hair, yeah, I'm like, he's thinking.
I'm just going to be very transparent. If the Pistons don't win a playoff series and Cade gets unnecessary slander, I'm going to have it both ways. I'm going to go back to they're a 14-win team last year, so I don't think I can comfortably answer this question because I want to say Swish, but at the end of the day, if they lose and Cade balls out and he gets slander, I will definitely have it both ways, and I will just be honest about that right now.
Flannel, if you had to pick, I'm putting you under pressure.
Brick.
Okay.
JB Smooth. That's the tough. I see everybody deliberate.
One more time, KG, run it back for me.
All right, the Pistons winning a playoff series has to be the expectation now. Swish or Brick?
Damn. Swish.
It's not that hard.
It is hard because you're proud of the accomplishments that they've done so far, but it's just all right, you get in the playoffs and you get bounced that first round. It's
I think there's a difference between being disappointed that they got bounced, but the expectation, I think it's the expectation. Hey, it's summer. You got to let us know, man. Are you expecting? Is it the expectation? Pistons playoff series win.
100% SWISH.
Oh, no
How they're
hesitation.
yeah, no hesitation. None at all. None at all. How they're playing now is going to carry right into playoffs. So no worries there.
See, that was no hesitation. No, Flannel is still over here.
I hate that question so much.
I know you do. I know you do. This is why you got your boy on the team though. This is why I cooked this stuff up.
What up, KG?
I think this is matchup dependent, but I will just go ahead and say SWISH. Because at this point, when you just look at the turnaround, I think we'll all be upset if they go into a playoff series and they don't even compete. Like, they have to at least compete at the bare minimum, but they expect to win a playoff series, so why shouldn't we expect that as fans? And they have the team to do so. Like, we're not looking at this thing like, okay, they have no shot. They don't look like the Blake Griffin Pistons going against the Cavs of that year. Like, we knew what that was. But with this, they can compete with anybody in the NBA. And like I said, it is matchup dependent.
They can't compete with the Bucks. What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about
But
something.
Rod, this is why I said it is matchup dependent. The Bucks would give you a bit more of an issue than the Knicks or the Pacers, but overall, I do expect the Pistons to go in and compete. So I don't see why that's too outlandish. I don't.
Hey, Rod, what say ye?
This is a brick. This is an unquestionable brick. And this is
Let me get a sticky note. Let me write this down.
Yeah.
This is what messed up Lions fans is you get to the NFC Championship and then the expectation is Super Bowl or you had a terrible season and people are crapping on the Lions for making it to the divisional round. Like, this is, they won 14 games last year. Making the playoffs wasn't the expectation at the beginning of the year.
Expectations change.
Expectations change, but you move the goalposts in a season, and you never can appreciate the success that you had because you're always pushing it out further. You can't make this a Jake Bates 70-yard field goal. They had 14 wins last year. If they make the playoffs, they have succeeded and they have exceeded expectations. If they win a playoff game, they have exceeded expectations. Y'all gotta calm down, man.
Nah, but Rod, nobody.
I get it, Rod, because they did get swept. They got swept the last two times. This will be the highest they finished since literally going back to those going to work.
Who was the last team they played in the playoffs? Okay, I mean.
No, and Rod, I get you, but I think we all are in the boat of the Pistons are not winning a championship. But you can even admit it's not out of the realm of possibility to have them win a playoff series, especially if it's against the Knicks or the Pacers. I think they have a chance. Nobody's saying they're gonna win the chip.
Did you write this question?
I did.
KG wrote that one, yeah.
The expectation has to be expectation. No, expectation has to be that they won more than 15 games this year. Everything is icing at this point. Everything. It's lollipops and ice cream and whatever else. They are at 37 wins and they will make the playoffs. Who had that?
Nobody.
At the beginning, and people will raise their hand. But the expectation is the expectation. Now you get to the playoffs and you try to make some noise and get on the national radar. That's the expectation.
Now you got Phil in the chat, KG, saying,
Man.
why not a championship? Hey.
Yeah, come on now. Like, we gotta keep some level of realism here. But all I'm saying is that it's not crazy, bro. It's not. Rod, that's all right. I got my sticky note for you too. We about to write that down. Does not expect playoff win. Got it.
KG did say anything is possible as well too. So
yep. Tell him.
Oh, I mean,
okay. What would making noise be? Winning a playoff series. You say you expect them to get in there and make noise. That's what that is.
42.
42 wins. They're gonna go 5-11 the rest of the way. 42 wins. That's it.
I still got that.
So I mean, probable. Possible.
Yeah.
It's wild we get to talk about a 40-plus win Pistons team.
It's so great.
Loading.
It's so great.
We have one more, huh?
Or
Yeah, we do.
Or a 51 win Pistons.
Hey, the range is crazy. The range is crazy. But all I know is that we not expecting a playoff win. So let's get to this last one. Cade Cunningham is a top 3 future face of the league. Swish or brick?
A top 3 future face of the league. Cade Cunningham during All-Star break, they asked him who out of these young players, as you got some of these older ones who are really long in the tooth now and no longer really carrying that mantle as effectively. You need some new faces of the league. Cade said, am I able to say me? They were like, yeah, he said to me. He believes he is number one. He believes he is the guy in line to be and can carry the face, being the face of the league. So we're going to ask your top 3 face of the league. If you believe MVP conversation, if you're believing all NBA and you take away the old guard, you get left with like, hey, there's Cade Cunningham just standing out right there.
That's the crazy thing. Almost by default, you have to say Swish because for some reason,
brother,
and I don't necessarily agree with it, but there seems to be, it's got to be an American-born player. It can't be Jokic, it can't be Giannis, it can't be Luka. Heck, SGA is Canadian as well. I don't know if that will count against him in face of the NBA, but if it has to be an American, it can't be SGA either. Anthony Edwards already said on record that he's not interested in being the face of the league. So through process of elimination, it's an absolute swish. And I don't really think that another name too, I don't think Tatum's ever going to be that either. And I like Jason Tatum a lot, just doesn't seem to really want it, or there doesn't really seem to be a desire for it. So yes, swish.
Hey, what up, though? JB Smooth.
I agree with Flannel. This is an absolute swish. I don't see why Cade couldn't be that top 3 new face of the league as well, too. As you said, a lot of these old faces are kind of phasing out a little bit. And, hey, Cade said it himself. I'm sizzling.
Summertime. What up, though?
Yeah, I like that. He definitely sizzling. But yeah, no, this is without a doubt a swish. Like, I definitely see that happening. And every game, he's just been proving it. Like, game after game, the numbers that he's putting up, assists, rebounds, all of that. Yeah, definitely the face of the league.
KG, what up, dog?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God. See, look what you've inspired. Now,
I'm just saying, man. We got to keep tabs on everybody. I just want it to be equal, man. But
keep tabs on everybody.
Yeah. But with this one, I'll go ahead and say swish. Just because, like, to Flannel's point, they seem to want an American-born player. Cade kind of fits that mold of a, somebody that's, not necessarily flashy like an Anthony Edwards, somebody that's not going to make a lot of headlines, but he's true to the game of basketball. And you need guys like that. Will he ever be like number 1 face of the league? I don't know, because maybe you need a little more flair in that department. But when you tell the NBA story in the next 5 years, I think Cade Cunningham absolutely has to be in the top 3 players that you mentioned going forward, especially if the Pistons continue to have the success that we think they'll have going forward.
And you know what? He's unbothered too. He doesn't care about anybody else's hype, anybody else's stardom, anybody else's expectations of his own. That's kind of what this one, Cade's own type. I had to cook this one up because it was an interesting thing, and I saw some of the conversations about it from some of the other national pundits when they were discussing the faces of the league, and they were like, look, you strip away the names that we've been hearing for the last decade, and you're effectively looking at these players here. And I was like, why not Cade? Why not Cade? Rod, what say ye? Top 3 face?
It can happen. It can happen. I think it's going to take the next few years of winning and making this a constant thing, that every year we're talking about the Pistons being 51 and legitimately 51 win team, that they're in the playoffs, they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals or something like that, where he gets on the national radar and people see him for the star that he is, and he has that quiet confidence about him that he can do it. It's not like somebody who's just saying they're going to be a face of the league or be a franchise player like that. He knows it and he can do it. So I'll say swish on this.
Hey, let's go. That's kind of all the way around the board here. Cade Cunningham, at least locally now, has put himself in a position where people expect star things. And I do believe, obviously with the NBA becoming an all-star, this is only going to grow. And Roger said it best, and I think all of us said a lot of our answers are tinged with, as long as they not only keep this pace up, but they continue to push those expectations higher. But one thing that I do believe you said that all Pistons fans should take away, no matter what we believe about the expectations, there shouldn't be one grain of disappointment with this Detroit Pistons team this year. This team has already blown by everyone's expectations, readjusted expectations, and now we're on those readjusted expectations. And that's just because we're acknowledging more or less what we see out of this team. But they should be applauded for the growth they've shown, the leap that they've shown. And we're not just talking about a team who made the marginal leap, which we would all have said this is probably believed to be its proper perspective. These Detroit Pistons, they deserve the fans' support right now. This is the identity we wanted to see from them. So any last word from you all, Flannel, KG, before we let Rod Beer get his last words in?
Nah, I'm good.
It was an epic day, man. You guys brought it. Hey, Rod Beer, any last words?
Hey, keep the momentum and keep the energy. We're a few weeks away from this. They're talking about the Pistons being in the playoffs. It's crazy times now. It's
crazy times. I know as we get close, Rod, let me know, man, when you got boots on the ground there. We're going to try and get the crew in there, and maybe we can have some fun. There's a lot of the chat family members who've been at the games, and they want to interact as well. So I think that'd be a fun time, man. That'd be a really fun time. But as always, Detroit News sports editor-in-chief, the legend, Detroit News Rod Beard, joins us every single Wednesday. And as Broder said, he said Rod Beard on Wednesdays is just one of the best parts of the week. Shout out to you, man, and we appreciate everything that you do for us. Thank you for your time, Rod.
Thanks, Rod.
Great conversations all the time. And you know what? I got to tell the people, though, about Lady James, too. Why? Because at Lady James, they take the trot of getting a haircut. Our talented stylists will deliver an industry-leading haircut, a relaxing scalp massage, and my favorite, the hot lather neck shave.